Good day everyone, so this is the battle of the C6R5, so we will use Raiden National with a C6R5 Raiden against Kokomi and Yelan with a couple of supports. So here you can see, obviously Bennett will be the exception because it doesn't matter if I give a Kilo Favonia refinements, we just need him at C6. Xiangling, she'll have her own R5 weapon, maximizing the attack. We're going to make sure that she hits really hard. It's the same with Xingshu. I gave him Misper, I gave him as many of his stats as I can, and so on. So I think this should be fairly okay. There's always room for improvement, and of course the results of what you'll see will just be that. It'll just be subject to my build, so this is not representative of anything except like how these things would compare on my account, so please do bear that in mind. But it will be very interesting to see two HP scaling characters together with two very unlikely supports, Yunjin and Sucrose, versus the poster child of Fury Crafting, Xiangling and the Mob. It's going to be really good. So how are we going to do this test? Well, we'll go into a Spiral Abyss, and basically here on the final floor we'll see who can beat up Perpetual Mechanical Ray the fastest. Obviously, I'm going to start the clock exactly at the sort of 9-minute mark, and here you can just see me. Here you can just see little Klee just sort of waiting to count us down exactly onto 9 o'clock. So first up is, of course, the Raiden National, and let's see what we can do. So immediately we're going to start Bennett E into Q, and then Xiangling E into Q. We're going to sort of pop the Xingshu E, Q, and then E, getting that almost 100k on his sort of E. And there we go, Raiden hitting for 300k. Critical hit, very good for this sort of showcase. And we're going to hit Perpetual Mechanical Ray. And of course, he is being absolutely like, he's like being very difficult. He doesn't want to transform, but there we go. At 8:34, do note the transfer time. That's going to be very important. You cannot do this any faster. And there we go. We're just going to sort of hit him, do the usual pattern, Xiangling, and then Xingshu Q into E. And then, of course, here's Raiden Shogun. And there we go, smack. And now it is time to just smack the Perpetual Mechanical Ray. And that'll be a time of about 8:11, so not too bad. And here is Kokomi's team, so immediately Kokomi, Yunjin, Sucrose animation cancel into Q, and then there's a Yelan, a very quick sort of tap on Yelan, and there we go, Kokomi and her elemental burst, just smacking. So we're just going to keep on smacking this Perpetual Lego, and now Yelan's going to come out with the full maximum burst damage. Look at that, that's just like an insane amount, and we're going to get all our energy back. And look at that, 8:34, that's exactly the same time that it's going to transform. You cannot do it fast, not that I'm aware of, perhaps you can. And look at this bad luck, the little snake decided, well, he's just going to go underground. We swirled absolutely nothing, so that's kind of bad on our side. But look at this absolutely fantastic damage coming in from Yelan, and there is Kokomi just sort of going to clean up, and you can see it's just going really wild. And there we go, 8:10. So they differ about by 1 second, but we had the little snake underneath, and that's just sort of really unlucky. So let's just take a bit of a reconnaissance at the stage. So basically, Raiden Shogun really carried that national team really hard. Obviously, her initial burst at 300,000k absolutely put them in the lead if you looked at like the health bar from second to second. But the moment Yelan unleashed her C6, she caught up so quickly, and we managed to also in like pretty much the same time put the Perpetual Mechanical Ray into its transforming states and so on. And it just shows you, like, you know, you've got Kokomi and Yelan, both very tanky HP scaling characters, being very competitive with the sort of like cream of the crop of the Fury Crafting community and so on. And I think this actually speaks more to the fact that the 4-stars themselves have kind of reached their limit. So basically, when you look at what a Xiangling and a Xingshu and a Bennett can provide for you at the highest end, there's a very clear drop-off and as to what Xiangling in particular can do, and even Xingshu. I mean, I C6 Yelan just outclasses Xingshu, and it's not even funny. Bennett, of course, obviously brings up quite a lot of a team's damage, but even he starts to fall off, because if your Raiden has like 3,200 attack, the value that Bennett proportionally gives is way less than the character that, like, for instance, like that Kujosara can give Raiden in much of the same circumstance. The only exception, of course, here is that Bennett is way more universal than either Xiangling and Xingshu, so that's why he doesn't really fall off, and that's mostly because of his utility and so on. But the other two characters, they're so easily outclassed at the highest end, it's not even funny. And do remember this, Yelan can literally not die with Kokomi's jellyfish. Like a lot of people have said, Xingshu provides rain sword and he provides like damage reduction and a bit of healing and so on. But at the end of the day, a character that's hypermobile, has a large HP pool, range damage, and can very easily, if she's in trouble, reposition to Kokomi's jellyfish and get an instant 15k top up. I mean, where you don't need damage reduction, the hypermobility, the fact that you can very easily animation sort of use stamina to dodge and recover that from Yelan, and at the highest end you don't need that damage reduction, it's wasted utility. But yeah, it just sort of shows you that Xingshu himself, as much as people appreciate what he offers, he falls off, and this was just so evident to me. But yeah, I mean, I want to continue bashing the national team, but I think a lot of people would sort of not forgive me, so let's just sort of end the video right here. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, Yelan is absolutely cracked. Thank you guys for watching. Cheers.